In the pocket on 3rd and long. Rush! Sacked by Chris Jones! Stone cold! Caught by Kelsey inside the 10! Inside the 5! Kelsey leaps! Touchdown! Kareem Hunt at the 10, angling to the 5! Into the end zone, left side! And it is good! Good! Here comes a rush, and he's gonna go down! George Karlaftis!
Chiefs lose it here on Thanksgiving to the Dallas Cowboys, 31-28. Mitch Holthus with you, along with senior team reporter Matt McMullen. Frustrating end, but a promising start. After getting the interception on the Cowboys' first drive and the Chiefs get touchdowns on their first 2 drives, you thought it might be the Chiefs' day.
Yeah, I think what makes this loss so difficult and tough is that the Chiefs began this game so strong. Yeah, you get that 3rd down pressure on Dak Prescott, force the interception. But really the story of this game, it came down to 3rd downs for Dallas. And it's kind of ironic because we got that pressure on Prescott, hit him, and forced that interception on the very first 3rd down of the game for Dallas. Well, after that, they end up going 9 for 15 on 3rd down, and often on long 3rd downs. The first touchdown drive, they converted a 3rd and 7, a 3rd and 9, and a 3rd and 10. Their second touchdown drive, they convert a 3rd and 7 and a 3rd and 4. And on their go-ahead touchdown drive in the 4th quarter, a 3rd and 8, the 39-yarder to Pickens. Strong start, but we just couldn't maintain that through the rest of this game.
In the NFL defensively, you try to get it to 3rd down in your advantage. Every one of those situations are to a defense's advantage, but that's 93 yards that the Cowboys were able to get on 3rd down and 7 or more. So that was a issue. On the offensive side, so many good things in this game, but it was the penalties. Possession 3, after up 14-10, a hold stops that drive. Then a hold in possession 4. Offensive pass interference, possession 5, and possession 8, another hold. The Chiefs got down 2 tackles in this game. They're already missing Trey Smith, so it was just kind of trying to hold it together, but those penalties were drive killers.
Yeah, those were killers. I'll add one more. After falling behind in the 4th quarter, we get the ball back, hopefully going to go down there and retake the lead. Well, there's a penalty on the very first snap, and then a drop on 3rd down. Just couldn't overcome that penalty ultimately. The Chiefs were penalized 10 times for 119 yards today. Some killers on offense and on defense as well toward the end of the game. Despite all of this, still had an opportunity to get the ball back, only down 3, but you have multiple pass interference penalties on that drive for Dallas. Then, of course, Dallas was able to get the 3rd down at the very end of the game as well with the throw to Pickens. Just a tough one for the Chiefs with 3rd downs and all those penalties. Hard to overcome.
Patrick Mahomes tried to warrior up in this game.
He did.
And his 42-yarder to Xavier Worthy that led to a touchdown to get it to the Chiefs to get to 28 points was incredible. He tried to fight through this. He lost both his offensive tackles, didn't have his right guard, and Patrick was going to do all he could to try to win this game.
Yeah, you know, we commend Mahomes and this offense and this team for finding ways last week and for fighting and finding a way in the end. I'm still going to do that here today for Mahomes because he fought. He never gave up in this game. It was not looking good when he hit Xavier for that deep pass to ultimately make it only a 3-point deficit a few snaps later. Wasn't looking good. He was nearly sacked on that play, but found a way. He kept fighting throughout this game. Unfortunately, playing a good team like Dallas, especially offensively, you just can't give a team like that many opportunities.
This is a really, really good Dallas offensive team, and they showed it today. Now let's get reaction from the podium.
All right, had a couple injuries here. Brian Cook sprained his right ankle. Juwan Taylor hurt his tricep there, had a strain of that. Josh Simmons hurt his wrist there, so we'll have to see how those things recover. Listen, my hat goes off to the Cowboys. They did a nice job today battling through. I was proud of our guys for battling through with some of the things that were going on. Not always agreeable things on my end, but that's all right. Things happen, and you got to fight through it. So bottom line is we're having too many penalties, and we've got to make sure we take care of that, both sides of the ball. So to get off the field and on 3rd downs, and then to stay on the field offensively and not backing yourself up. So no excuses with it. We'll work on cleaning it up. You know, we appreciate our fans' support. They came out here and cheered us on, and we appreciate all that. There was a lot of red in the stands, and and then Thanksgiving, it is Thanksgiving, so that's bigger than probably any of this, but this was a nice microcosm of how the world should be, where it's competition. It's not people killing each other and doing all those crazy things that go on. All religions, all races out here, enjoying an event. And if we can learn one thing from it, as we go through as a country here, man, that's it right there. Great competition, and then everybody get along, and then shake hands afterwards and go about your way there. So, anyways, with that, time, cheers.
Andy, what do you leave the team with after today? After this loss, what do you try to keep in their minds going forward?
Yeah, the guys know. I mean, they understand. We've got to clean up a few things, and we've got to do better as coaches. We have to do better as players, and so you go back to the drawing board and you keep working is what you do. And we were close here, but we had too many opportunities that we gave away, and you can't. Two good teams playing each other, you can't have those things. Right?
So now at 6-6, there's kind of no margin for error. Is that something that you start, sort of mentally working with them on, or you don't need to do that?
Yeah. We go in every week thinking that there's in this business, you stress to get your game plan down, and then practice it, and then go out and do it. So there's no days off on that. It's competition, and you're giving it your all, and I wouldn't expect anything less from the guys now.
I know you're not going to comment on the penalties, but a lot of third and longs today. Some of those were penalties, some of them were completions. Just what were you seeing on third and long from Dallas?
Yeah, so listen, I mean, I'm not going to say, I'm not always going to agree with the call, but the calls are made. And I will say that they've got some physical receivers, big, strong, physical guys, and that's the way they were playing. And in return, my guys were fighting, and to maintain leverage in that. And it's not the way I saw it, but it's the way they saw it. The officials saw it, so they made the calls. But you got to stay aggressive against those guys. There's no other way to do it.
In the third quarter, you had a couple chances just beyond midfield, fourth and about medium, and you pumped both times. Just are those close decisions for you? Like, are those?
Yeah, well, at that time we were doing okay. I thought we would be able to hold them with field position, so it didn't work out well. I mean, hindsight, we can sit here and say that go for it, but you got to weigh that out. So
Coach,
give that one to me.
Sorry about that, Coach.
Yeah.
On the ones that may or may not have been penalties on third down, what did you see from Dak Prescott that they just kept converting on those?
Yeah, listen, he did a good job. He gave his guys an opportunity to make some plays, and when they made it, they made it. Yeah.
Maybe just not having Trey coming in, but also losing two more on the offensive line. Just how did your team adjust to?
Yeah, well, listen, we go next man up and try to make it work. Our pass game was a little off. He had to move around quite a little bit, but the guys battled to do the best they could. That's a good defensive front, and we were just off timing a little bit, but Pat still made some great plays.
And you had the run game with Cream going really well in the first half. How did you see Dallas adjust to that maybe after halftime?
Yeah, they got penetration is what they did. Shut it off there a bit, so. And then we were kind of up and down with it as we went. But, yeah, it was working well in the first half.
And just on Patrick's Day and that pass he made to Xavier in particular, right? What you see in how he did today?
Yeah, listen, he battled his tail off, 4 touchdowns, so on. I mean, those are hard to look at when you lose a game or talk about, but he battled, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Chiefs lose at 31-28 to the Dallas Cowboys. We're joined now by a real pro. Mike Dana coming out here. Got off to such a great start. What about the opening possession to get a takeaway and opening the door to get a touchdown right away?
This is a great start to the game, especially on, complimentary football. That's what we call it. But, found a way to get an interception and get points off it. But, it just wasn't enough. We knew it was going to be a battle all 4 quarters, and we know we got to have intense energy every single time we step on that field, man. So, we got to bounce back.
It's a good Dallas offense, but there were times to get them off the field. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. They had 3rd and long. I got 93 yards on those plays. When you look back on it, what was the issue there in your opinion?
It was just, shooting ourselves in the foot, penalties, us not honing in on, the details coach give us. That's that we got to hold ourselves accountable, and we're all responsible for that. And, all that means is we got to sharpen up our skills, sharpen up the details, and hone in and go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and a 43-yard run as well. But again, this is a good offensive team. Now, you're a pro and trying to circle back. How tough was this to try to get this done on a short week and to travel on Wednesday?
It's always a difficulty doing that, playing Thursdays games and having short days in the facility, but there's no excuse. We're held to certain expectations, and we hold ourselves to a standard, man. Anytime we step on that field, we want to give our best, give the fans the best, and the organization the best, But, we just got to hone in on the little things, stop shooting ourselves in the foot, and, we'll have different outcomes.
Okay, basically a week, extended week here, kind of a mini bye week. What do we do to rally here to attack December, starting on the defensive side of the ball?
We just got to trust each other, man. Continue to have faith, continue to believe in each other because, all that we want is still right in front of us. We can't start veering off, playing individual football. We got to be collective, cohesive as a unit, as a football team. And like I said, everything is still right in front of us, man. So we got to come out with the right energy, the right attitude, and, dominate all 4 quarters.
Final question, how big is it to try to get healthy again and everybody, we lost 3 guys again today, to handle this week and a half coming up?
Well, Coach Reed always take care of us, whether it's at practice, giving us time to get our bodies right. So, it's really on us to take care of our bodies and use that time to our benefit, to our advantage. It's extended week. So, guys that's, nicked up, banged up, they got to take care of themselves, treat themselves. But like I said, Coach Reed takes care of us and, we got to hang in there, We got to continue to fight, continue to be a cohesive unit and, we'll figure out a way.
A man who's been very productive and a leader on this football team, Mike Dana.
Just missed opportunities. Just like all the losses we've had this year. Getting the ball 2 times kind of at midfield in the start of the second half and then not coming through and getting points at all. That's stuff that you can't do against good football teams, and we did that today.
When you have a play like that to Xavier, does it make you feel like, okay, we're on a roll right when we need to be?
Yeah, we got to be more consistent at the end of the day. Like, we've had big plays. We've had runs where we can really just score at any time, but we got to be consistent for 4 quarters, especially when you play good football teams, and they have a good offense. So they have a good football team. They're playing well right now. They're the same desperation that we are, and they played better over 4 quarters than we did. So even though we have good plays here and there, we got to be more consistent at the end of the day.
Just on that play, can you just take us through your balance as you're running out to the right?
Yeah, they actually played a pretty good coverage, and they got pressure and just scrambling, kind of got tripped up a little bit, and I was trying to get enough on it to get it to Xavier. But he did a good job working back to me because his route was across the field. So got enough to get it to him and make a big play in a moment, but it was too late, obviously.
Can you talk about the touchdown pass to Hollywood at the end?
Yeah, they were in a kind of a cover 2 type defense versus our empty play, and so they had a linebacker matchup on a receiver, and he played really good coverage, but Hollywood made a really good play, and so I got to keep giving guys chances to do that throughout the game, and so that we can score more touchdowns earlier in the game.
Patrick, can you put your finger on why y'all were a little disjointed there in the second and third quarter?
And credit to them, they changed up things, but at the end of the day, we got to execute at a higher level, and penalties killed some drives, and that's stuff that we got to be better at, and that's kind of stuff that we've done all year long. Is you get penalties, you get behind the sticks, and then you don't get first downs. And so, whenever you have 10, 11, whatever it was, penalties, that usually hurts you at the end of the day.
How do you kind of just reset now, knowing what your record is and the margin of error being pretty thin at this point?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you just gotta win every game now. And hope that's enough. So, we're going to play a lot of good football teams coming up. And if we're going to make the playoffs, we're going to have to win them all. And that's got to be the mindset when we step into the building when we get back.
Patrick, in the second quarter, when you're going into the sun, I know there was a play where you scrambled to the right from the shade to the sun, and before you got sacked. Did it affect you seeing downfield? Because it looked like there were a couple of guys that may have been open, but I couldn't.
No, it's just, you play some games. I played baseball growing up. The sun's part of it. It's not something that we knew coming into the game. So just got to find those guys whenever you're scrambling and make those throws.
Patrick, injury-plagued offensive line right now. Did you guys, stepped in there? How'd you feel like
they battled, man? That's a hard thing to do on a short week, to come against a good defensive line, the one that can rush the passer from all 5 positions, and they did a good job battling, getting when their number was called, and so hopefully we can get some of these guys back and get them healthy over this extended week that we have. But I have confidence in those guys stepping in to play if needed be.
Patrick, what do you make of your guys' ability as a team, your ceiling as a team? Do you still feel as confident as you did, even though the results haven't turned out the way you want?
I mean, our ceiling is playing in the Super Bowl. We got all the same guys. We've added players, but at the end of the day, you got to go out and do it on every single week, a week in, week out basis. And we can beat anybody, but I mean, we've shown that we can lose to anybody. And so we got to be more consistent. It starts with me being consistent throughout the entire game, not in just big moments. And that's something that we have to do throughout an entire game and week to week. It's not just one time. And we obviously see the last week we have a big win, and then you come here and play another good football team, and you don't come to play. And so the ceiling can be what it is, but until you put it on the football field, you won't be able to go out there and win football games.
You mentioned just that this has some familiarity with your other losses. In what way?
Just not being consistent. I mean, it's just offense, defense, special teams. I mean, it's just we got to put it all together for 4 quarters in this league. That's something we've been great at in the past, but it's not the past. Now it's the present, and you have to be able to do that week in and week out. And even last week we weren't consistent when we won the game. So it's just being consistent throughout an entire game, bringing the right mindset, the right energy, and something that we're going to have to do the rest of the way out.
I'm sure you don't want to just dwell on the touchdown passes, but nonetheless, the one to Travis in particular, can you just go through that? I mean, it looked like you released the ball before he even made the cut.
Yeah, no, we had a good feel for the coverage that we were going to get. Another one where the guy played really good coverage, but you got to, with his back turn, you put it up top, especially for the tight ends like that, and let him go up there and make plays. And Travis has proved for years that he can make that play. And so, big-time catch for him. You got to continue to execute like that when we get in the red zone. That's the one improvement we had from the week before, is that we scored touchdowns in the red zone.
Okay, thanks, Patrick.
Chris, what made it so tough for y'all to get off the field on 3rd down at times throughout the game?
Just a bunch of penalties, man. I think we as a team, we got to fix what we can fix on that. We put ourselves back a lot today with the defensive penalties that were called today.
Chris, is that what frustrates you most after this game, or something else stand out to you?
A lot of plays we could have made that we didn't make, and they played better than we did today.
Chris, you're obviously 6-6 now with not much margin for error. How do you kind of reset at this point? I know you got a couple of days to do that, but how do you go from here?
Watch a little film, see what we can get better at. Get some guys healthy. We got a few guys get banged up, short week, and prepare for the next game. I think we got these next 5 to 6 games is going to be very, very critical for us as a team. That we need to make sure we executing at a high level, offense, defense, and special teams. So, for us, it's about honing in, coming closer together, relying on each other, pushing each other, also pulling the best out of each other, and making sure that we have an emphasis on these last few games that we have coming up. And the good thing about it would be in KC, we're at home, so we don't have to leave. So,
Chris, obviously this game's still fresh, but you know these guys for a long time. How do you anticipate they'll respond to just being in this position that you guys are in right now?
We'll respond.
Anybody else?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chris.
Again, the Chiefs lose here on Thanksgiving, 31-28, to fall to 6-6 on the year. Again, missed opportunities. It kind of feels like we talk about in the 6 losses that has been there in every game. But there was again today, a chance to seize the game.
Yeah, the sequence that really stands out is when Dallas was going in the 4th quarter to make it a 2-score game, and they ended up settling for a field goal. Well, they had back-to-back plays where the Chiefs nearly took the ball away. So Mike Edwards jumped Dak Prescott's route and almost picked him off. Maybe a pick 6, I don't know. Well, he couldn't hang on to it. You move on to the next play. They find George Pickens for a short pass. Well, he then fumbles, and we couldn't fall on the ball. I mean, sometimes the reality is the ball doesn't fall your way. Literally, that happened here in this game. But missed opportunities, again, have been kind of a consistent theme for the Chiefs in their losses this year. That was certainly a big opportunity right there on back-to-back plays. Just couldn't take advantage of it.
Rashee Rice played high school ball in the Metroplex, a Richland Royal, not that far from here. 92 yards receiving, 8 catches. The huge touchdown on 4th down and 3.5 was a big-time play. But Rashee now is putting together, stringing games together with production.
Yeah, Rashee played really well here in this game. And overall, a major positive from this game that Rashee helped contribute to is the Chiefs were 3 for 3 in the red zone, I believe. 2 of those on 4th down, and 1 of them to Hollywood in the back of the end zone on a gotta-have-it kind of play. So that's positive. That's something we can build on moving forward. But overall, the penalties and defensively on 3rd down for the Chiefs, got to clean those things up. The red zone offense, though, was encouraging.
Close it out this way. The Chiefs now have got to take advantage of this basically week and a half. They get a weekend, but did not play with Trey Smith in this game, Christian Roland-Wallace or Noah Gray. Not an excuse, but also lost in this game Brian Cook, Josh Simmons, and Jawan Taylor. The reason I bring it up, you've got to get healthy physically here as well as mentally and emotionally to attack the 5 games in December.
Now, fortunately, we have 10 days now before our next game. So far cry from what we just dealt with, where we had to get ready for this game in only a couple of days. Yeah, right. So we have 10 days now to get ready for the next game against Houston. And really, we've talked about it already this season. Every game is like a 1-game playoff now for the Chiefs. We're not going to really talk about the rest of the season right now. It's all about the Houston Texans. And we can start attacking that team right now by getting healthy. That's really important right now. And we'll talk about the Texans next week, but let's get healthy, let's get recharged, and attack the Texans next week.
By the way, a hot Houston Texan team.
Yeah.
Matt McMullen, senior team reporter. I'm Mitch Holthus, voice of the Chiefs for our entire 65 TPT crew. We want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and hope you have a really good weekend coming up. Chiefs will rally and try to get after December and get after it.
Chiefs Rewind is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Kansas City Chiefs. And by CommunityAmerica Credit Union, the official banking partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.